Well, basically, I grew up all of the United States. I was a Navy brat. My dad was in the Navy, so from kindergarten to 12th grade, I went to 12 different schools. So I've learned to adapt a little bit in there. I went to Brigham Young University. I graduated from Brigham Young University. Went into the active duty in the Army right after graduation, and then got out of the Army. Worked actually in business for my dad for a little while. Ran a video store for him back in the early 80s. And then became a police officer in Salida, Colorado, small town in the middle of Colorado. And then wanted to move to a bigger department. My wife's family lived here in Sacramento, and so I applied for the Sacramento Sheriff's Department and was hired here in April of 1990. Went through the training academy again here, and then have just enjoyed a very, very good career here in Sacramento. I've been able to work in North Patrol at Citrus Heights. I was in the initial startup team that started Citrus Heights when they first incorporated. And then I became a lieutenant and went out to the airport and was the assistant commander at the airport, then the assistant chief of police in Citrus Heights. So I worked for there. So I worked in cities before, a lot of municipality type thing, contract type areas. And then I worked up in our headquarters unit on the 4th floor at the Sacramento Sheriff's Department. And then I went out to property warehouse for a while, so to get that side of the business. A lot of people don't understand there's a whole lot of things that happen with property and evidence. And then I worked in our forensics and record. I was promoted to captain in January of 2006 or 2007. And was there I became the commander of the Forensics and Records Division, learning the records end of things, the crime scene investigators, and that end of the business. And then worked for Technical Services Division. That's the division I came from before here. And now I'm here in Rancho Cordova. Well, I'm a resident of Rancho Cordova. I've been a resident for 20 years. Ever since I moved to Sacramento, we've lived in Rancho Cordova. And I've always looked for, once we incorporated, I looked forward to that opportunity where I was in the right position at the right time to apply and then become the chief. I think I have a lot to offer as being a resident of the community. Plus with my background and experience. I've got over 25 years of experience in law enforcement. And I think that we can make a difference together, the community, the police department, and make Rancho Cordova a better place to live, a better place to work, a better place to come and visit. And that's what we really want to do. That's the focus of what my job is to make it a safe place so that our community, Rancho Cordova, can thrive. Law enforcement is just a part of the community. That's really what it is. We're an essential part to help provide the public peace, public safety, and so that's what we're here for. But we need the community to help because we can't do everything that's out there. So we need the community to help, and I believe in reaching out to the community, involving the community as much as possible, having the community find solutions to some of the problems that are out there, having them help us with those solutions. Now we're going to provide, I'll say, the brawn of doing the enforcement part of it, but we definitely need the community to be participants, things like Neighborhood Watch, preventive programs like our PAL program, our Police Activities League. Those kinds of activities that we can get involved in and get the citizens involved in more are going to help us to get the bad guys, put them in jail, and to keep them off the streets. And if we can't keep them off the streets, at least keep them out of our community so that our community can be safe. Within the department, I'm not going to make any wide sweeping changes immediately. I need to get in and get to know the men and women of the department. They need to get to know me. So we'll look at that and see where we need to make changes. I'm not afraid to make changes, but we need to make changes in a direct manner, so that in a deliberate manner, so that we can move forward and make sure that we're making the right changes. I don't want them just make knee-jerk reactions. One of the big things that I think that we can do is to, again, continue to reach out to the community. I think we've done that. But I think we need to continue to reach out to the community, to get our officers involved in the community as much as possible, and so that we can interact with the community one-on-one at times to make sure that the community feels comfortable with us. Because if you feel comfortable with your law enforcement agency that's out there, you're going to feel a little bit more safe, a little bit more comfortable with the community as a whole. And whether that's, you work here, you live here, or whether you're just coming in to visit Rancho Cordova, any one of those, we want to improve that image and make Rancho Cordova a place that people want to come, they want to live, they want to play here. There are some of the biggest things that we are going to have to deal with are traffic issues. That always plagues cities. Are the traffic issues, in particular Coloma Road. There's speeding issues. It's a big wide open street, for the most part fairly straight, and so people tend to get their speeds up, and sometimes they don't realize it, but there's been a lot of accidents, a lot of problems there on Coloma. So we'll be continuing. Have hit that hard, but we'll continue to hit that area hard. There'll be other areas that are I'll say less affluent areas that tend to have some problems that we will get into. But that doesn't mean the more affluent areas, people perceive Anatolia as being a little bit more affluent, I think. But we've had our share of problems out there. There have been people that have gone in and had marijuana grows in houses, for example, out there. We want to stop that, and we want to get that down, because no neighborhood is exempt from problems. They each have their own unique problems, and we want to tailor our enforcement and our public outreach to meet the needs of that particular neighborhood. I'd like them to perceive our department in a way that they trust us. The image in law enforcement over the last two or three decades has eroded. I want to bolster that image in the police department. I want them to see us as professionals. We're going to take care of business when we need to, but we also need to do it in a professional manner, and we're going to strive to do that. Our motto is service with concern. We're going to try and show that concern to the citizens of Rancho Cordova, to help them to understand that we are there to help them. Now, we may take some of them to jail, and they may not see that as helping, but if we can get them to realize at minor things that they may be doing, whether we're writing a citation or whatever it is, before it becomes a major incident. If we can keep the major incidents down by looking at the minor things that go on, then our community is going to be safer, and it's going to be better. People are going to love to live here and feel confident in our agency.